here and get Denard Robinson in a position where he can make a play here with his arm. And if he has to create, get out of bounds or use that timeout.
Brendan Gibbons, and that has not been the overall strength of the Wolverines team. Down the middle comes Denard. Too high. It'll be second down. Robinson has thrown for 210 yards tonight, but he's run for another 106. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns, and he has also run for 1. This a big 3rd down and 2. Now we're into that 4-down territory with the clock winding down at 1:41.
And still, with a timeout or a couple timeouts, clock stopping on a 1st down, this is where Denard Robinson with his feet, with that zone read, can be so effective. And he has Vincent Smith in the backfield with him here.
Quarterback draw, keeps it, trying to get the 1st down, and this one's going to depend on where they spot the football. Very close. 1:34 left. Brady's signaling 1st down already.
Brent, you remember the game last year, came back and forth, and it was Denard Robinson making a play late to eventually win the game for the Michigan Wolverines, and this defense has put him in a position down 3 with about a minute and a half to go to be able to maybe win it for a 2nd year in a row.
Got it. Brady's got good eyes. "48 yards away from a touchdown." Brendan Gibbons, his career long is 24. That came against UConn last year.
But I will say, watching him Thursday in practice, he's got a leg.
Denard fires, got it, complete. Brady, his first reception of the evening, the former basketball player, going to the far side, and now the Wolverines are in business. He gets out of bounds after a 27-yard gain.
And a great throw and a good job of attacking a matchup to his advantage. Brady against the safety, Mata. He'll take that. He was in rhythm. He got back, time to throw. Receiver made his cut to the outside, and he put a perfect throw right on the money to Grady.
Coach Kelly was probably saying, "Oh no, here we go again with this young man." Denard Robinson. Pulls out and rolls the right. He's going to throw back to left to set up a screen. It's Vincent Smith, one of the plays they practice in the game plan. He's in. End zone. Michigan leads it. Will have a minute 12 to work with. They certainly don't want a celebration penalty. His 3rd touchdown pass of the evening. Gibbons. Is Michigan headed for another 4-point win? The Irish will try to answer.
This is a great call because of your concern of this guy right here rolling out. Watch the linebackers and watch the safety. Everybody's going to blow here, and then they get the ball thrown back to the other side. The patience there. Look at the defense flowing to the right. They get everybody out of position. A great move right there by Vincent Smith, and then he had the block downfield. Darius Fleming was in position to be able to make the play. Vincent Smith sneaks out the back door. Right there, Fleming had a chance to make a play. Vincent Smith makes the miss, and then he had a convoy to lead him into the end zone. Great call by Al Borges, and a nice job of saving that play for late in the game.
John knows that Vincent Smith is one of the toughest players on this team, and he means tough. Even though he's only 5'6", he says if he has to block for me, he can flat out do it. I trust him anytime. But he's from South Florida. Spencer Smith takes it in.
For Hokie, Florida.
Now, Matt Wild, the freshman out of San Diego, will kick it off. And the Irish will see what they can do. Collinsworth and Riddick are back deep. Riddick from the 5. Throws middle, still on his feet. Good return to the 40. 105, and now it is Tommy Rees, the sophomore from Lake Forest, Illinois. The game's in his hands. He's thrown for 269 yards tonight, 2 touchdowns, but 2 costly interceptions.
And remember, last week against South Florida, he showed great poise, and he tried to put his offense in a position to be able to make a play. We've been bragging about his poise all night. He's got 1 timeout remaining and 1:05 to go to be able to get potentially the game-winning touchdown.
You know he's got to be thinking about number 3, and you know the Wolverines are thinking about number 3. Fires under pressure, goes 3, and just overthrew him, but there's a penalty flag, however. J.T. Floyd, and there's a lot of time left. Hang on, he went with 3.
And J.T. Floyd just grabbed a hold of his jersey, and he's thinking, I'll take a pass interference call before I end up getting the game-winning touchdown. Great on the defense.
Kicking, and Kelly's got to remind his quarterback. Moving off to the right. He's got a man open. He'll step out of bounds and stop the clock. That is Jones out of bounds. Now 41 seconds.
Every offense in college football works on the 2-minute drill at the end of practice. This should be something that Tommy Rees and his offense, I know it's a different deal dealing with the crowd and the energy, but they know there's about 41 seconds to go, and they got 1 timeout, a first down, and getting out of bounds to your friend.
Floyd is to the top, or Rees right. He'll come off the 30-yard line.
Man-to-man coverage.
Trying to get to Rees. He comes back deep, incomplete. Overthrew Riddick.
Miscommunication that time. He saw one-on-one coverage, and he wanted to try to get the ball to T.J. Jones down the field. He was isolated one-on-one. And when you're one-on-one, Tommy Rees thinks he's got the receivers to win every single battle, not just with Michael Floyd, who now is in the slot off to the left of the quarterback, inside receiver.
3rd and 5, 36 seconds, and 1 timeout. Middle. Touchdown, Riddick. The Irish regain the lead. Rees drives in the field with just over a minute remaining. Now Denard Robinson will have 30 seconds to work with. And they only need a field goal to send this into overtime.
An absolute mental error by the Michigan defense, trying to disguise coverage, trying to make sure that Michael Floyd doesn't make the reception. Rees saw it exactly the way he wanted to and makes the right read and a good throw.
Oh, good job by the holder. That ball was down, and he got it up for Ruffer, who nailed the extra point to make it 3.
But you've got Michael Floyd. I circled him, and there's Rees excited. Here's Michael Floyd right here. There's nobody back here with the Michigan secondary. Now, they're going to drop some people. They're going to drop defensive linemen to Floyd, but nobody hits the middle of the defense. Nobody gets back there. I mean, Marvin Robinson, number 3, was all the way at the line of scrimmage, and when the ball snaps, he tries to nonchalantly get back in the middle of the field to be able to stop Riddick from making the play, but they thought they were going to try to get the football to Michael Floyd, but Rees that time did not lock into him, instead finds Riddick downfield, and that's a big-time mental error by the Michigan defense.
The young man from Lake Forest won 4 in a row to end the season last year. Didn't open the season as a start. used on a Hail Mary package that they practiced the other day. Robinson steps away, fires on the run, incomplete. On the move, Gallen overthrowing a little bit. So the time now, 23 seconds.
There's Gallen at 5'8". Well, you'd love to have Junior Hemingway at about 6'1" or 6'2". Maybe would have had enough height to be able to go up and make that catch.
You'd love to have Desmond Howard out there.
Amani Toomer? There's been a few good ones come through here.
Braylon Edwards?
Oh, yeah.
Second and 10. Steps away from the pressure, fires downfield, wide open to Gallen. They left him alone. Needs a block. Now he's in a foot race. Out of bounds at the 15, and there's 8 seconds to go.
Well, we just saw the Michigan defense make the mistake, and this time, even though they're in that Hail Mary formation, Brett, you said it, they just lost Gallen. Didn't even pay attention to him. They were locked into the middle of the field, thinking he may just throw it up to Hemingway, but he does a good job of improvising and eventually finding Gallen hanging off out to the right all by himself. Still with 2 timeouts
Try to
Brett.
throw it into the end zone. He's got 8 seconds. He's got the field goal kicker over there. A field goal puts us into overtime. So Brady's got to think about what he's going to do here. He doesn't want the clock to run out if he starts scrambling. That is the one thing you got to be careful of.
Just get it in the middle of the field, take a knee, call a timeout, kick a field goal, and send it into overtime. Just purpose, take the snap, slide to your right, get it in the middle of the field, and call a timeout.
Starts Smith in motion. He's going to throw for it. He's got to throw it to the end zone. Lobs it up. One-on-one. Caught. Michigan. Touchdown. I can't believe this. Roy Roundtree. There's a penalty flag thrown at the 2-yard line. Touchdown is the call on the field with 2 seconds remaining. It counts. With 8 seconds on the clock, Michigan went for it. On a night that they honored Desmond Howard, you can't forget 4th and 1 with Elvis Gerback, and Desmond Howard burned the Irish. And tonight, it is Denard Robinson. Roy Roundtree, the receiver.
Once again, one-on-one to the outside. Roundtree is locked up, and you know, we have seen this time and time again with Derek Gray down in the end zone, getting lost in coverage. He was pushing back and forth with Roundtree. An amazing call by Al Borges to show the confidence and to take this chance here. I thought they would just position it for the